Welcome back to Old Wine Wednesday with a clickbaity wine if I've ever seen it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. It's just one of my favorite wines of all time. And I knew it before most of you whippersnappers did. No, I definitely didn't discover it, but I feel like I've known this wine for a very long time. It's Clos Rougeard and it's the Les Poyeux 1996. It's so funny how wine trends go because I remember when I started at Tantris back in 2011, I couldn't give this stuff away. Literally, I had a cellar full of it going back to the early 2000s, and nobody, nada, niente, not a single person asked for this wine. No one knew what it was. No one cared about it. Certainly, nobody ordered it. In fact, to get rid of some of our overstock on the basic Saumur-Champigny, I ended up serving it during our Saturday lunch menu, which was kind of like an all-you-can-drink deal. I know, for some of you, it sounds like, man, should have bought Bitcoin. I know, same deal, right? And then all of a sudden, one of the Foucault brothers passed on, and then, boom, a handful of hipsters latched onto it, felt like they discovered it somehow, and the price went through the roof, unfortunately. Is it a great wine? Absolutely. Is it necessarily worth $500 a pop? That's arguable. It does, however, come from one of the best terroirs in the Loire, in Saumur-Champigny, known, of course, for its Cabernet Franc, a wine you also don't see very often on its own because it's mostly, blended into, let's say, Pomerol or Saint-Emilion. But here in the Loire, Franc is king. And in the terroirs like Anjou, Chinon, Bourg, and of course, Saumur-Champigny, they can produce exquisitely long-lived examples. And if you know your history, when you smell a Cabernet Franc, you think, well, that's kind of Cabernet-y, and it's called Cabernet, like Cabernet Sauvignon? No! Cabernet Sauvignon is like Cabernet Franc, because Cabernet Sauvignon is the sun, right? Cabernet Franc, Sauvignon Blanc, marry, make a baby, Cabernet Sauvignon. So, like father, like son. But Franc has a much leaner, more svelte kind of structure, right? It's not quite as opulent and big as Cabernet Sauvignon, not as flashy. It's got more tannin. It can be a little bit green at times, like that kind of tomatoey, bell peppery deal. But in its best vintages and its warmer sites, can certainly be seductive. This crazy graphite-y thing, this violet and like freesia kind of aroma, these dark damson plums, those little ones, or Zwetschge in German. It's altogether something different, with a little bit more of like a Pinot Noir kind of poise, but with a Cabernet kind of uppercut. And this one, there's two big vineyards. There's the Les Bourg and the Poyeux. Incredibly different stuff. Les Bourg is the big brawler, the burly, broad-shouldered one, the longest lived. But from its clay soils, it's a little bit more, burly. Whereas the Poyeux, from its sandy topsoil to its yellow tufa below, allowing for crazy deep vine penetration, right, root penetration. Wines of incredible finesse and seductively aromatic. 96, amazing vintage. Cool, classic, perfect. Needs a ton of time. Now it is absolutely singing. So if you want to get to know Cabernet Franc from its absolute best example, which in 1990 even beat out top Bordeaux's in a tasting like Petrus, par exemple, you'll understand exactly why. And I can say, even myself, one of my first bottles of 1989 Les Bourg, I can remember like it was yesterday, although it was 15 years ago, at a little place in Dusseldorf for nothing. I think it was 110 euros on the list. Pretty much blew the doors off of most Saint-Emilions, even top shelf ones I've ever had in my life. So Cabernet Franc equals Clos Rougeard. Check it out for yourself. We'll see you next week on Old Wine Wednesday.